Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Live Cardboard number 22. Happy holidays for those of you who have started your holidays. I still got a couple of days' work left. Yeah, so it's that time of year. To that end, we'll be talking about we'll be looking back, looking forward. What was good, what was disappointing. Uh, Remind me to talk about that because I didn't prepare any slides about that, but we should talk about what was disappointing, and then of course we'll talk a bit about what we're looking forward to and what we hope to do in the next year. But as you can see from the background, I'm sort of back in my house. I mean, I am back in my house. This is my house. This just isn't my office. The basement where my office will be is still under renovation for a couple of months. But I'm in the spare bedroom, and it's so much better than being in the basement of the place we were staying. So nice to be back in my own bed. Everything's great. Anyway, let's talk about let's well before we get on, let me thank all the supporters, the people who support this venture on Ko-fi. Really, it really helps with the costs and whatnot. So first, a big shout out to my two newest supporters, Charles Overbeck and Al Vanoy. Charles is a great guy to play with if you ever find yourself at a convention in Southern California. And Al is a designer, most recently of the latest Traces game for VUCA. And then I don't think I mentioned from October, Jonathan Dwyer from Down Under. Yeah, I was just thinking, I wonder what time it is for him in October to catch this stream live, or him in Australia. Anyway, thanks to everybody who helps to pitch in and reduce the cost. If that interests you, there's info in the video description. Ko-fi is just like Patreon, just a different company. And there's my affiliate links for Cube for Me, which there's been a lot of people using those. I think a lot of people are getting trays for Christmas or something. Or maybe they're just getting some trays ready for the games they expect to get for Christmas. And then, of course, I have an affiliate for Noble Net Games. If you move to support the channel, all those ways are good. But of course, just being here is the best. I look forward to talking to you guys every couple of weeks, and tonight's no exception. Although it's a bit of a weird one. It's not. I don't have like a giant series of games to present to you, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I want to say also thanks to everybody who participated in the games giveaways the last couple of shows, both here and on the podcast. The info for the winners from the live stream, have been sent to the publishers. So you guys should be receiving those games shortly if you haven't already. And the three names from the podcast haven't been drawn yet, but that will happen before Christmas, so that they can be announced on the next actual podcast. Okay, on to the news. It's funny, not a ton of news this time. Just a couple of things. The first is Wir sind das Volk is now on RTT. I'm sure I completely butchered the pronunciation of that, but that's I don't know. Rally the troops. They just like I said last time when they put a new game on, they just keep piling them on, knocking them out of the park. I know. I was watching Argolf's live stream a few weeks ago, and he talked about Tor doing all of these games, but I'm pretty sure that there's other developers besides Tor who are what am I trying to say? Besides Tor, who are developing things for Rally the Troops. He's not the only one. I'm pretty sure about that. Anyway, great to see another good. I have this game. I've never played it. I've only played it solo. So, but this is a game with a really good reputation. So glad to see it here. Oh, I should say hello. There's Dumpty from LA. Good to see you, David. Chris the Clerk, Bill Simone, Jeff Edwards. Oh yeah, hey Dumpty. Dave Poirier. Hey, good to see you. Dave Siskin asks about the guitars. I brought one with me, and the newest one, that beautiful cherry red Gibson, is it's here in the house. It's totally good. The older Gibson, the older Fender acoustic and the Strat are in storage, but it's climate controlled storage, so they're not up in the cold. Everything should be good. Well, there we go. Dave says where Sin Does Folk is a good game. Yeah, that's what everybody says. I'm anxious to give it a go now that it's easy to find an opponent. Now that it's on the Rally the Truth. Okay. Next up, I'm going to do something. I'm going to share a screen here because Revolution just for the first time lately they put out a kind of a giant newsletter that has a bunch of stuff on it that I totally it's too much to just go slide by slide. So I thought I'd talk about it. We could look at it together. Hey, Skyrider, good to see you here. The first thing is they're announcing their Berlin Fall of the Reich. I'm sure this is a lot of you are going to be excited about this one. This is the latest Mike Ranella solo area impulse game. Mike Ranella had become sort of the reigning master of area impulse games, and then when he did his Stalingrad game a couple of years ago, it sold like hotcakes. I'm pretty sure Roger Miller from Revolution told me that it just rocketed up their sales charts, became their all-time best seller. So anyway, then he did I think Manila, and now Berlin is coming. So I'm sure tons of you are going to be excited about that. There's the map. It's not I'm not going to be able to zoom it in. Oh, here we go. We've already got somebody's already seen it. So yeah, I'm happy for Ranella. I'm happy for Richard and Roger at Revolution, but I'm really sad for myself because ever since that first Stalingrad game was such a big hit, Mike Ranella has not made another two-person game, either Area Impulse or CDG, which he also does. So it sucks for me, but it's good. It's good for you guys. Oh well, yeah. Well, it sort of looks like that from the map, doesn't it? Right? Well, that makes sense, right? Berlin is surrounded at the end of the war, so that totally makes sense. Here's some of the units, kind of very typical Mike Ranella looking counters, but they're good. I've always liked his counters because they're easy on the eyes and the numbers are nice and big, and that's the main thing, right? And then they're announcing a big holiday sale, and there's some good deals here. The box version of Shiloh the First Day is 30% off. That's $70 instead of 100. There's it looks like there's like pretty much everything right across their line is on sale. We'll look at a Greater Victory in the box, $55 down from $85. So that's like more like 40% off. That's fantastic. Yeah. So oh look, Eagles in the Sky half price. I know air games aren't everybody's, but this one is a pretty fun one. If you haven't tried a World War I air game, this one's plenty fun and easy to wrap your mind around. Anyway, there's just go through this. You can go and look on their website and find some good deals there. Yeah, Dave. Absolutely. There's always a backstory, right? I think that probably nothing pissed Patton off more than that than that deal right there. But such is the nature of politics. Yeah, Death of an Army. That's I really like Death of an Army, and if anybody hasn't seen it, I think I did some video on it. I did a review. I think on the website there's like a really well illustrated review and everything. So check it out if you're interested in Death of an Army, and we'll see something else in that series coming up. Hey, Jerry, Cardboard Commander is here. Good to see you, Jerry. Thanks for coming by. So yeah, so you can see they're like just. Oh, also look at the very last title here, Warsaw 1920. It's on for less than half price. It's been on their catalog for a while. Um, I was talking to Roger Miller at one of the conventions when I ran into him, and I think I asked him about like what was the unsung heroes in his line or something. He talked about Warsaw 1920 being a fantastic game, like really interesting mechanics, but that just hasn't sold because of the setting. Warsaw 1920 is not something that grabs people, right? It's the same thing. Like there's that great game. If anybody played Strike of the Eagle, it's Poland, Russian, late 20s, early 30s, I think. Again, totally great system that just kind of died on the vine because people aren't so interested, aren't interested in the conflict. But in both cases, I think we're missing a great game. Anyway, I bought a copy of Warsaw 1920, and I want to try and talk somebody into playing it, despite the fact that it might be a conflict they're not interested in. Well, yeah, get after it, Block Oddity, because yeah, time is running out. As you'll see when we get to the new games in my collection section here, I took advantage of a bunch of sales, and some of those have come in. So we'll get to that later. Anyway, so great sale at Revolution. Don't wanna miss that. Um, up next, some games in development. So this is cool. So here's, somebody was asking about Death of an Army. This is the next game in that series, Tankschlacht. So Battle of Cambrai, 1917. There's the map. You can see it's very much exactly the same style as the Death of an Army map. But whereas the Death of an Army map was, if you played the game, it's got a giant hills, big hills up the one side, right? So this is more. We're looking at more at Cambrai here is an urban center, is the center of the map. There's the counters again. Revolution does good work with counters. I'm never disappointed with Revolution's counters, and the palette's nice too, right? Like these are good looking colors. Yeah, yeah, me too. I really like the first one, Commander, and so I'm sure I'll jump right on this one, and I'll probably do some content on it as well because I just like it. I like the system, and I want to make sure it sells and see if it make sure it doesn't die. I didn't say here. Well, maybe we'll say later. I wonder if it's the same uh, designer, because I think maybe Kerry Anderson was the designer of the first one. I'm guessing he's probably going to be the designer of the second one. Anyway, on to the next thing. A Herman Luttman game for for Revolution. They continue their. I totally agree. The German language is great for military things. It's so aggressive. Um, yeah, the March Against Us, Leipzig, 1813. Um, you see cards here. Yeah, this is very exciting. So Herman Luttman, who did the first, basically invented the blind sword stuff, and then did the first Revolution's first ACW game, Long Street Attacks, I think it was called. Um, Anyway, this is a new series. Herman Luttman is designing for starting with Revolution, and it's called the Bonaparte Sword series. So still like blinds, it's still BS, blind sword, Bonaparte sword. It's basically the blind sword system taken to Napoleonics. So yeah, so those counters. Like, this is just mock-up art, obviously, but things are already looking good. Those cards are already looking fantastic. Uh, yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, Leipzig. Well, hey, Christina, great to see you. When I saw this game, you were the first person I thought of because the combination of Napoleonics and Blind Swords, it's like it's got to be an auto buy for Christina for sure. Yeah, it's this Herman Luttman. I mean, like uh, he's everywhere all at once, right? He seems to have like a new game coming out every month at a different publisher, and always good. So it's not like he's churning out direct. I think we're seeing Herman Luttman in his kind of like his his imperial period, perhaps, for lack of a better word. Anyway, Leipzig, coming from Herman. Uh, Another Blind Swords. Jubal Early threatens Washington. So it looks like we don't have any. Well, maybe we'll see if we look below. Doesn't look like we have a map or anything, but there we go. And of course, we know there's a couple other ones. If any of you hang out at the Blind Swords Discord server we set up last year, there's Gina Willis's Atlanta game and at least one or two others that are in development over there. The whole Blind Swords thing is starting to look a little bit, in terms of the Discord and stuff, it's starting to look a little bit like Vocal Rumkey's Coin and Livian campaign Discord servers. It's a real community of designers that talk to each other on the Blind Swords Discord server. It's fantastic. A solo game. Another speaking of Gina Willis, here it is. Night Drop Screaming Eagles, designed by Gina Willis. So this is so Gina seems to be going back and forth between two-player games and solo games. You might remember she's got a solo naval, I think War of 1812 naval game, maybe out with Legion. I think it's with Legion, and she's got the solo games that the World War II air games that she's done with GMT, but she's working on Blind Swords. I'm sure lots of you saw her interviewed on the live stream here. She was fantastic. Yeah, like I said, it's like Herman's everywhere. Well, there you go. So is that what it is, Christina? It's the cavalry that rings your cowbell. Maybe it could be. I look forward to it anyway. I think a lot of people were thinking Blind Swords was going to be a kind of a natural fit for Napoleonics, and so it was just a matter of time until it happened, and I'm happy it happened sooner rather than later. Look, here's the map for Screaming Eagles. Looks like probably a bunch of these drop zones and whatnot. And here's Gina's Atlanta game for I grew up in the country, and all the girls I went to school with felt exactly the same way. All those girls, you couldn't get them to stop talking about horses. Anyway, that's as much as I'm going to say about that. I've been watching Gina's game progress. It's going to be great. It's going to be a winner, I think. Her attention to detail is fantastic to watch, and her openness. If you stop by that server, you'll see, like, if you have a suggestion, she'll either take it or she'll tell you why she's thought about it and doesn't think it's the right idea for her. It's like she's totally open, really easy to approach and talk to and interact with. So I recommend it. If you can't find the Blind Sword server, hit me up. I don't think I have a link handy for it, but I'll get you one if you just email me at grant@pushingcardboard.com, and I'll find one for you and get you an invite. It's pretty great. Jeff Noble. Now, this is I somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. This is a diagram 1809 formation command system. That's not a system I've ever played. Maybe some of you. I'm sure if anybody out there has, you're going to jump in and tell me. But this looks like a whole new maybe a whole new series, a whole new sort of maybe they're planning on a series. Yes, yeah, Christoph, she was. I interviewed her live. She was one of the few live interviews I've done on this channel so far, but she was great. She was great. And maybe my favorite thing about her was like, I said, do you want to talk about, being a being a woman designer in a industry that's so heavily male dominated? And she just said, no, I just want to talk about design. So that was, that was great. She's just like, I'm a designer, and that's it. Thanks for thanks for the shout out. Yeah, that blind sort server is great. Yeah, Mansfield, that's the other one. Yeah, fantastic. I couldn't remember the name. And the same thing with that designer. He's just like uh, he's looking for recommendations. He'll post questions about like he'll have something that he's trying to accomplish and just say, I can't decide if I'm going to go this way or this way about it. And Gina will jump in, Steve Carey will jump in, all the players will jump in. Like it's really a really healthy discussion, and nobody there's nobody kind of pulling anybody's nose or anything. Well, this looks like an interesting game. It says blocks, action blocks, and those look like maybe little cues. So anyway, well, I guess we'll see. Uh, well, it says formation command system is intended to be a system with a focus on the dilemmas faced by the commanders. Well, I won't read all that, but it says is intended to be. So that makes me feel pretty sure that this is a new system that is being developed. So great, great, man. Well, that's GMT. That or it's not GMT. That's Revolution. Sorry, that is a great lineup for next year. Revolution is going to have all my money. That's fantastic. Um, okay, well let's go back and see if I have a little more news. I think I do. Oh, I should say yeah. On the Pushing Cardboard site, Paul Chernoff. He's done a couple of reviews for me for the website on Vento Nuovo games. He's a big Vento Nuovo fan. He really likes those games, and so he wrote a couple of reviews for them. But this time, he did another review. I just posted it today, and it's an old SPI classic, Soldiers. And interestingly, it's World War One tactical combat. Not something you see much of. We don't we don't think about World War One tactically very often. So uh, it's a great looking review after I read it, and it's filled with pictures as well. So you'll get to see what he's talking about. It made me go, oh, my friendly local game store has like two giant stacks of used SPI flat packs. I'm going to have to go and dig through it and see if I can see if I can find a copy, because now he's piqued my interest on it. We've been through this before, right? We did a whole show on World War II tactical games, and I think I owned all of them. Like I must have like 25 tactical games already. It's not like I need another tactical game, but I'm going to do it if I can find it. I'm not going to track it down for $200 or something like that. Uh, yeah, I salute who was it who said that they're going to have a no buy policy in 2026. I'm like you guys. It's just not going to happen. It's the closer I get to retirement, I feel like the more games I might end up buying. Although this new renovation in the basement, where I'm going to be moving everything into, my previous shelves were like IKEA shelves that I could just keep adding and adding onto. But this new setup, we're having shelves built into the wall. One, at least it's the long wall, but it's like that's a set amount of shelves, and those shelves are full. It's going to be, I think it's going to be one game out for one game in sort of thing. So we'll have to see. Yeah, well, this is. I bet we're going to talk about some of this kind of stuff probably at the end of the show when we talk about goals for 2026, because the goal of not buying any games next year, it is it's a perfectly valid goal, and worthwhile given given a try to, but yeah, it's not going to work for me. That's for sure. Um, anyway, so soldiers, I uh, well, I'm a bit the way I'm loading up before retirement, and I think I'll keep going during retirement, but we'll see. Who knows? I think I'm going to be retired in 3 years, maybe, but maybe sooner if the older I get, the crankier I get in terms of my job. I think that's maybe lots of people have that. Okay, one last bit of news. Of course, GMT dropped their monthly newsletter like well, I don't know, about 5 o'clock my time. So like just 2 hours ago. So I haven't prepared any slides for it or anything like that. But I had a quick look at it, and the things that caught my eye. Gene talks about they made a mistake in what they charge people for shipping for Cuba Libre Calixto bought. They charged people at the £2 rate when it was only £1, and they sent out refunds to everybody, which is totally excellent. Uh, I was on another server. I'm not going to sort of point out which one, but I saw a bunch of folks talking about this, and they were just slagging GMT as if they were like a bunch of dumbasses that were constantly making mistakes, and that this was that they just got caught trying to gouge people for shipping charges, and and then they had to refund it. I just don't buy any of that. They made a simple mistake, and they're doing a refund. I mean, what more do you want? Like I don't know. The tendency for people to always think the worst is it's soul crushing. That's all I'll say about that. Uh, well, yeah, Dave. I know. I had a buddy. Well, he's gone now, but he retired, and he was buying more, still buying more games, still playing a lot of games, and then he got a bad health diagnosis. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and from that moment on, he reversed coursed and started selling them until that was the end of it. And yeah, he was a great guy, fellow Calgarian who moved out to the West Coast, but we kept in touch and played a lot of games by PBM. So here's one to Dave Blizzard, if anybody knew him. He was a great guy. Yeah, absolutely, Block. It's you know small businesses aren't like GMT isn't a big business. They may be in our little niche world they're bigger than a lot, but they're there's it's a handful of employees there, or maybe a dozen employees. Mistakes happen. It's cut them a break. Anyway, everybody they say the refunds have all gone out, so everybody should be getting it. Yeah, Baltic empires. Uh, Brian Askeladd Hansen, who Christina mentions is the designer on Baltic empires. He designed Napoleon's Fateful March, which is easily one of my two favorite games from 2024. Which Christine and I were lucky enough to play a game of in San Diego a couple of years ago. Uh, yeah, uh, absolutely. Where would the hobby be without GMT? Absolutely. That's that's uh, I don't know. It's easy to sit back behind the screen and complain, but I don't know. It's it's just that boggles my mind. So let me talk about a couple other good things GMT is doing, so we can maybe talk about that a little bit. So the news. This news has been out there, but they're finally releasing it. They are putting together something that so you probably know Simple GBOH. They've developed something called Simple GBACW, And they're starting by releasing a 4 pack, which is the simple GBACW rules and I don't know, counters, whatever you need for, I think that means it's for 4 of the GBACW games. So right off the bat, you're going to get the simple rules and everything you need to play the simple way of 4 big GBACW games. It's going to be a big package. It's for GBACW people. It should be lots of fun, but for people who like me, who find GBACW a bit on the fiddly side, this might this might change my mind. I might have to give it a go. Uh, yeah, absolutely, Thomas. Yes, lots. Uh, the Compass charges me like 35, $40 to get something in Canada. Sometimes is it's like I pay it if I want it. It's no, nobody's screwing anybody. Yeah, well, this is this is what they're going to face, right? Uh, this is what they're going to face. The GBACW fans, the true hardcore fans, are going to say it's heresy. But yeah, yeah. Hey Joe, good to see you tonight. Thanks for coming by. I'm still going to hold you to that thing where we do the live unboxing together. If that works out, that'll be great. Anyway, yeah, I didn't play Terrible Swift Swords when it came out, but I did have, there was a couple of those. I didn't have them in the flat packs. I guess I had the magazine games. They had a few, and that's where I first played the system before. It's way back, but yeah, yeah, it had the edition creep. A little bit, not as bad as squad leader, but it definitely had some addition creep. Anyway, the good thing is, Block Oddity can play good old standard GBACW, and guys like me or maybe Stuka can try the simple rules and see how it is. Ah, this is very good to know. This is this is fun. For those who don't know, when we did the game giveaways a couple of weeks ago, Stuka won one of the VUCA games, I think it was, and so we've been talking about before we even did the giveaway. We've been talking about live unboxings as a way to spice up unboxings, and then he won the game, and so we decided to do a co live unboxing. So he'll unbox it, and I'll watch and kibitz. I think is probably how that goes. That should be very fun. Yeah, right. Modern Tactics. Uh, that's uh, that's uh, that's a game that's got a lot of people salivating. There's a lot of people who are into totally modern stuff. Okay, before I forget, one last bit of news from GMT. They've talked about this that they were trying to they're trying to they're trying to take the Commands and Colors Napoleonics and instead of having it in 7 boxes, they want to get it down to 3, maybe 3.5, something like that. So the first 2 have been announced. They're not on P500 yet, but they've been announced. The first CCN box is going to be, it's going to hold the original base game, the Spanish expansion, and the Generals, Marshals, and Tacticians expansion, which I think that's great. Get that right in the front. I wouldn't play without that anymore. And then the second box is going to hold the Russian, Austrian, and Prussian. So between those two boxes, you're going to have a ton of it. Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I just got a Cowpens game from Victus like a couple months ago. Sometimes it feels to me like certain topics all of a sudden like 2 or 3 games come out all at the same time. Yeah, I'm a bird defender as well, mostly because I think our hobby can use all the wit that that it can get. I think Amabel Holland is about the closest we have to somebody who puts wit in her rule books the way Amabel did. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm interested though, Block, about you know. There's some people that say simple GBOH feels almost as uh, almost as complicated as regular GBOH. So who knows? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Yeah, because I get it. Um, the you know if there's something about that series that makes it special to you, you should just keep playing it for sure. No doubt about that. uh, well, yeah, I can. I can't talk to you. The Sharks beat the Flames. I think last night or the night before. Uh, yeah, uh, I'm not going to talk sports. Talk sports. Yeah, that's Joe. That's exactly what I was thinking of. There's lots of folks who just feel like simple GBOH is doesn't cut enough off to actually make it worth. You might as well just play the whole thing. I've definitely talked to a lot of people who feel that way. Okay, let's talk about. I've got a few games that are have been announced that I should just make note of. Um, there we. Oh no, we already talked about that one. Let's see. There we go. Um, ATO Magazine has announced a Kickstarter for Tiger Wings. This is the same. This is the JD Webster series. This is this is sort of a slightly stripped down version of that system, and of course much more affordable. If you've seen Heroes of the Motherland or whatever it's called, the latest one on the shelf at my game store, it's about 185 Canadian or something. It's a big heavy box. There's a lot in there, but it's a lot. Anyway, Against the Odds put out something called Buffalo Wings. I don't know, a decade ago, to get people into the series, but that's long sold out, I think. They're giving another go with Tiger Wings, and it's a bit of stripped down um, uh, of that system. And I'm totally interested in this, and I'm so interested that I'm going to have J.D. Webster, who's the designer, and Terry Simo, who you guys, I think I had him on here. I had him on here. I had him on the podcast for sure. Maybe that's where. Anyway, he's the developer, and Terry is an ex Air Force man. The two great guys to talk to about this and kind of teach me what I don't know about it. Yeah. Uh, uh, I agree, David. Strip down, so good. Sounds good to me too. Yeah. Um, the older I get, the more I appreciate designers who are clever with how they manage to limit the amount of markers. I mean, I still play ASL, and that's marker crazy for sure. But in newer games, I always appreciate it when there's less. Less is more. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to Tiger Wings, and then this is funny because I got two notices about this. I got one notice uh, uh, from Legion that this Hannibal's Revenge is now on their CPO program. And I was thinking, oh, that's that game that GMT cut a while ago from their P500. And then also in the GMT newsletter that I just referred to, uh, they talk about the fact that hey, the game we cut, it's landed on its feet, and you should go buy it from Legion, which is a pretty stand-up thing for GMT to do. So yeah, this is I guess it just wasn't getting any traction on the P500, but this is Mark McLaughlin and Fred Schachter, so like this is not uh, an unknown commodity here. This is you know this is a guy with real chops. So uh, uh, David, is it you're not in a hurry because it's Legion, or it's Legion that's not in a hurry because they just kind of chug along and at their own sort of speed to get anything done? It's one of those companies. I think he just retired this year, and I think actually it felt like things got slower. Which I hear everybody says when you retire, you get so damn busy. So maybe he thought he was going to have more time to devote to Legion, and instead he's had less. Who knows? But anyway, I'm happy for Mark McLaughlin. Ah, I I see. Yeah. So Legion being slow. Yeah. Well, there you go. So basically, what you're saying is it's on the CPO their CPO program right now, and we might see it in 2029. That's sort of your guess. That's yeah. Well, whatever. Whenever we see it, uh, Hannibal games are kind of cool. And then the last two I wanted to just mention was Neva, who I interviewed for the podcast last edition. Um, their first two games are finally available to order. Iwo Jima Hell on Earth is a sort of a smaller game, a two-player game. Uh, no, oh, no, I can't remember. Maybe it is a solo game. Totally don't remember. Anyway, and then the other one, Sea and Steel, that's Columbus, I think. Um, good to see you, John. No, we just been we haven't got to the actual discussion. We're just kind of talking about just wrapping up the news. Yeah, it's I like to. Oh, that's great. Good to hear it. Good to hear it. I know Neva has announced a lot of games that are in their pipeline, and they were starting to take a little flack online for announcing. But it feels like they were announcing things for about I don't know, a year and a half before that people were wondering if they were ever going to actually produce anything. But here they go. They're available to order. They're being shipped. Jerry Cardboard Commander got his, so they're out there. So there you go. Yeah, I think John. I think everybody's going to be anxious to see what their games look like. It's you can't tell it from the picture there, but um, Neva's boxes are about two-thirds the size of say an old Avalon Hill box in terms of their height and width. They're like just just a little bigger than my hand, really. Like just I got really big hands. I'm 6'6", but they're these the boxes all have the same height and width. The only thing they vary is the depth of the box. The bigger, more intense games have deeper boxes than the simpler games. So yeah, um, the if anybody's interested in seeing in hearing about what Neva's up to, check out that listen to that podcast, or I'm probably gonna just I'm gonna post just the interview, not the whole podcast, but just the interview as a video on YouTube in the next couple of weeks, I think. And Jose Neva, who it's his company, I just kind of went through pretty much most of the games that they had in the pipeline and got him to talk to me about them, who designed them, what they were about, all that sort of stuff. He's not designing everything. He's got a whole bunch of designers. I mean, Joe could talk more to this than me, but yeah, I was just going to say there's a good wargaming scene going on in Spain. There's two or three companies now, and yeah, and yeah, I knew Joe goes over to Spain to some of these conventions. When my wife and I are both retired, I'm going to have to try to do that thing that says, hey, let's go to Spain. I'll just spend the weekend of this thing, and then we can spend the rest of the 2 weeks in Spain. I think I could probably I think I might be able to make that fly. Okay. In terms of my new games, the stuff that's come in, it's a bit of a whack this time because a lot of places it's a combination of stuff that was on pre-order and then also some uh, or what do they call it, Black Friday sales. So I uh, the, the first stuff up is all ASL stuff. They put out two action packs at the same time. I'm just an auto order for them. Pretty much, I don't buy it. I don't buy everything that MMP puts out for ASL, but I would say I probably buy 85 to 90% of it. So they got me there. Same thing. This next one is Chef Dupont. This is interesting. It's a historical ASL, but this comes in like a. It's not even a box. It's just a baggie, but it's Beyond Valor and Yanks, and you have everything you need to play it. You don't need anything else. So this is Drop Zone Chef Dupont. They had one just before this Drop Zone Samara Glaze, which I have as well. Anyway, yeah, yes, Christoph, this is that's exactly the thing for me. Um, yes, I like to go places for the history, but mostly I like to go to places for the food. I'm, I'm I'm a big fella, and and the food, food. That's it. That's the way it. I'll go anywhere for something that takes me out of the ordinary. Yeah, well, I think lots of people are like that, David, and have dropped out of the ASL. Especially as they get older. It's sort of either you're in all the way or you're not. There's no sort of kind of just dangling a toe in the water with that game. That like I said, I've probably got 25 other World War II tactical games. I'm a bit of an addict, so what are you going to do? Anyway, this next one, this is I ordered this. I think this was from Capstone. This is Aaron Escobedo, whichever. Her game Meltwater. This was originally a Hollandspiel game. It sold out, and Amabel gave the rights back to Aaron because she thought she could find a bigger publisher, and she did. The weird thing is, it took about 5 years for it to come out. Once she found this, or she made the deal with Capstone. So it was weird because this game, which is supposed to be really wonderful, is it was out of print for like 5 years. Yeah, yeah. So the interesting thing is, anybody knows who's been watching Amabel's career, especially post transition, her games have been increasingly socio-political, and they often have a point to make. And this was a game that really kind of, she didn't design it, but this is a game that put her on that track. The situation in this game is there's like, I think it's basically the world's been engulfed in nuclear holocaust, and all that's left is Antarctica. And there's the Americans and the Russians, and they're fighting it out. But they're killing the last place on Earth as they fight over it. So it's got that sort of vibe to it, where you know it would be better if you worked together, obviously, and saved whatever was left. Anyway, that was very big in the Hollandspiel version, but apparently there's none of that in the PR for the new Capstone version. It's just kind of being sold as a kind of deadly action game. So who knows? Anyway, I couldn't get a copy of the Hollandspiel one, so I was happy to get this Capstone game because it's the same game. They haven't changed it at all. Yeah. Well, there we go. Belgian representation at Balladicon. Geez, if you keep saying Balladicon, I'm going to have to go. I'll have to figure out have to figure out a way to do it. Yeah, Hollispiel does, and even Amabel still. Well, I mean, she designed Oblique, which came out this year. Like, she hasn't totally turned her back on war related games at all, and plus she keeps publishing. what's his name? Oh, it's gonna Decent. John Decent. Yeah, I think uh, she keeps putting out his games. So yeah, I'm glad to see that even with the direction she's taken most of her designs, there's they still put out enough that keep me going. Yeah, there. That's basically it, William. That's the game in a nutshell, right? Anyway, so I just felt that I needed a copy of this game because it had been such a it was so talked about. People really liked it, and it was out of print for so long. So I jumped on it when I could. Um, I don't. I also did order some games from the holidays sale, but they haven't arrived yet. So I guess you'll hear about them next time. But Worthington had a great sale, and if it's still on, you should check it out. So I I bought. Well, there was. Oh, that's the old cover. Yeah, there you go. That's the old Meltwater cover, which I think still was a is a pretty great looking cover. Anyway, um, uh, I bought these three plus one other game, which I'll show you next. These are all the Civil War Brigade battle series. I've heard good things about this series, so I wanted to try it out. I didn't need to try it out times three, but their sale prices were so good. I got these three games plus one other one uh, for $150. That's $37.50 a game. It was, I mean, uh, I feel like I was taken in by their low prices. I'd be losing money if I didn't buy them. But these were games that I'd been interested in all along. So the chance to the chance to get three of them for like $35 each. That's good. Good to hear, John. I've heard nothing but good things about this. These things are easy to play, fun to play, and you can play them in a reasonable amount of time. So totally happy to have that. So the other game that I got from them was one I played at BotisCon to go back to what Dumpty was talking about a bit ago. I was at BotisCon and I signed up for a game of this. We played a three-handed game of this, and it was fantastic. It was like I went, how did I sleep on this game when it first came out a couple of years ago? It is so good. And I'll jump at a chance to play Crisis 1914 um, whenever I get a chance to. It's probably going to be one of those games that I only get to play at conventions, but I'll play it all the time. And it's also, I think it only took us between 2 and 3 hours or something. Well, it didn't take a long time. Somebody's got a good question about those ACW games. Are they different enough from each other? I certainly, if they're if they're like the Blind Swords games in terms of, I find with the Blind Sword system, the different maps and just a little bit of exclusive rules for each game makes every game feel completely different from the last one. So I hope I didn't buy three copies of the same game with three different maps, but we'll see. Yeah, it's Crisis 14 is fantastic. You're absolutely right. Um, eh, it was. I remember I took a pass on it because it was originally described as a push your luck game, and push your luck as a basic mechanic is not something that's. I don't know. That sounds like a states. I'm not interested in states siege games, right? Those solo games. That's what I always think about. That's not my kind of thing. Crisis 1914 is a push your luck game, but it feels so much more nuanced and tricky than that. When I hear push your luck, it just reminds me of some kind of solo, and it's like, do I take another card or not, sort of thing. No, Crisis 1914 isn't like that. There we go. Another recommendation. Another recommendation for the Worthington ACW games. So that's fantastic. Anyway, that's all. That's all that's come in, which felt like a lot considering I'm only just back into my house. But I'm happy to have given the fact that all my games are in storage. It's happy to have a few that I once I get them unboxed, I'll have something new to play. Okay, let's get to the the actual topic here. The best of the year, looking forward, looking back, all that kind of stuff. Um, let's see. No, I want to change that. We already looked at that. What do I want? I don't want. There we go. Okay. I put up 5 quick polls to generate a few titles for us to talk about tonight. But as we talk about these 5 different topics, we throw out others as we go. If you didn't participate in the polls, we'll see what we come up with. And given the way tonight's been going already, I'm sure we're going to have plenty to talk about. Anyway, let's just start with the the first one. Oh, I should also say, like, I put up those polls, like the poll that got the most responses, like it had 69 entries, and the one with the least had 25. So that's not really a sample size to really tell us anything. It really is just giving us a place to start talking. Anyway, let's start about the best of 2025. This is. Well, I should get myself out of there. Give me 1 second. I'm kind of blocking the view here. Stupid Joe, I should tell you, I'm on EV. I'm giving EV Mux a go. So now, can you hear me? Hopefully. Testing 1, 2, 3. Well, we'll have to see. There we go. Yes, yes, yeah, Joe. I did switch over. I'm taking a 1 month trial on EV Mux on your recommendation. So a little bit of not all the controls are quite are exactly the same. So you know, I'm driving a new truck here. Anyway, so here we have it. So top of the list, Rocket Chickamauga. Uh, you know, that's not the only thing that's a surprise to me about that being at the top of the list. I mean, most Fearful Sacrifice was such a hugely popular game as well. The only thing that surprises me is it's a really big, heavy box and an expensive game. So it's, I guess, it might be like looking at this list, just the ones that we can see there so far. Um, it might be the most expensive game on the list. So it's interesting to see it uh, at the top of the chart there. Um, if, I kickstarted that game or whatever they do at Flying Pig, and I did an unboxing of it, and that was the game that was out on the table when the flood hit my basement. So that game was totally wiped out. And the guys at Flying Pig, I, they don't ship to Canada. Only when they do Kickstarters. Their their Kickstarter fulfillment partner ships to Canada, but Flying Pig doesn't. So I contacted them, I told them that I'd had this flood, I'd lost it, and that I know they don't ship to Canada, but would they make an exception and I'd buy a I'd buy a new copy because I wanted it, and they were great. They said, look, we have a few around with like split corners or a ding on the box. We'll send you one for free if you'll just pay for the shipping. So that's what we did. So I may have told you that story already, but I just want to reiterate that. Just give them another shout out. That was a really kind of stand up thing to do for I don't have any relationship with those guys at all, so they didn't have to help me out like that, and they did. Anyway, uh, the 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 next few they're like the next four games, the ones that all have 5 votes there. I think yeah, well, uh, that's nice to see. We don't always get that, do we? So good for them. They that made me want to cover their products more, right? It's like they were so good. I feel like I owe them. I got to do some kind of a playthrough of Chickamauga or something. I got to do something with it because yeah, it's totally great. Anyway, the next four, I find this kind of interesting. We got by Swords and Bayonets. Uh, that's GBACW Inflection Point. I think isn't that BCS? Olive Brothers Solferino, which is like a variation on Blind Swords, and then the World War II Commander Market Garden. That's the Paul or the sorry John Butterfield game that is like it's like the games he designed for the Shenandoah video company. It's just interesting. They're all like completely different games, and they all jumped up to the top of this little list. Um, I think, and they're all sort of a lot a lot smaller and a lot cheaper than the Rocket Chickamauga. And I don't know if Christine's still here or not, but uh, the next one down, 1811 Albuera. It's a second edition. I know she was really waiting for that game to come out, and it's like I said, this isn't a scientific survey of any by any means, but I was really surprised to see a game from such a small publisher. They're called something Workshop, Tactical Workshop. That's it, Tactical Workshop. Um, uh, this is I don't know those guys at all. I did order this game. I haven't. I haven't played it yet. It's kind of hefty, but I don't know. I just it's such a obscure company in game to see it up there with uh, Compass and MMP and GMT and Legion. It's like, oh, you're up there with the big boys. Uh, I don't know that game, David. Is that another game in the Fixed Bayonet series from this Tactical Workshop? I don't know these guys. I've I've opened it. I've looked through it. The rule book is kind of hefty. That doesn't scare me at all, but it just makes me go. I need to. I can't just like throw this on the table and expect to get at it. I'm gonna have to put some real time aside to get that one going. Um, the Battles of the American Revolution tri-pack, yeah, that totally makes sense. Seljuk, which just came out, uh, like I feel like it just came out, like just like maybe just hit people's um, mailboxes, maybe at the most 2 months ago. That really uh, that means a lot of people are like played it once and loved it. I'm I'm disappointed to hear that, John, because I would have liked to see Drop Zone on here. Yeah, it didn't make the list, but this is that's good to know. Like that's what I said. Let's talk about the ones that aren't on this list because uh, people want to hear it. And yeah, and it's funny you should say that too because I was talking with Dumpty here earlier today, asking about Drop Zone because it was like, oh, this looks like right up my alley. Is it any good? He said he played it, and so there we go. We have two votes for Drop Zone. There's a game I'm gonna have to look into. Another one that's just come out right after um, uh, the Seljuk is China's War. It's really just come out. Yeah, I totally agree. Crisis 1914 is fantastic. It, uh, if I had made a list of the games that surprised me and bit me in a good way, it would be the top of my list for 2025. Crisis 1914. I feel bad that I missed it, but yeah, it's on sale at a great price. Like I said, I got 4 games from Worthington for 100, $150. You cannot get a better price than that. Yeah. So Christina's obviously a big fan as well. Yeah, China's War. I played this. This is another one I played at BottoSCon. It had just come out. Designer Brian Train was there. They had a 4-player game lined up, and one of the people phoned at the last minute and said they they couldn't come. And I was just sitting. I just finished a game of something else, and I was sitting at the side of the room, just flipping through a rule book, and somebody came and put the finger on me and said, "Hey, do you want to come play China's War?" So I did, and it's a coin game, so 75% of it just when you sit down. If you've ever played one, and it was great. It was fantastic. I played the Japanese. I won. It was no. Uh, that's not. I didn't win because I had any great play. The thing about here's my tip: if you play that game, um, there's the Japanese, and then there's 3 different Chinese factions: um, the communists, the warlords, and the nationalists. And everybody's out for themselves, but the 3 Chinese factions really have to work a bit together to fight off the Japanese. So it's one of those games where it's sort of like 1 versus 3 until the end game, and then if the 3 Chinese factions have successfully fended off the Japanese, then they can fight it out and figure out who's going to be king of China. Anyway, great game. Brian Train, he does he always does quality stuff. I also played his Brief Border Wars 2. I played all 4 scenarios over the course of the weekend. It's so quick and easy to play. So that was great. The next one on that list, I'm not going to go through all these, but Fields of Fire Deluxe Edition. I've resisted Fields of Fire. I'm going to probably continue to resist it. I know everybody says the new rule book is fantastic, but it just looks like a giant lift. And I don't think I'm going to get more out of it than I get playing other tactical World War II games, even if they're 2-player games and I play them solo. I think I'll still enjoy them more. But obviously, tons of people love Fields of Fire, and this new edition is supposed to be fantastic. It's supposed to have pretty much rescued the rule book. The Bella Treason, that's another one that was nice to see here because it was kind of like a little bit of an oddball game. So yeah, so that's I was glad to see that there. Um, Congress of Vienna, I don't know, I didn't I didn't order that. I feel like I'm kind of behind in that series, and I didn't feel like it was time to order to buy another one when I still haven't even played Versailles 1919 because I think that's the same sort of series. Well, there you go. I think we're on the same page there, Jerry. Yeah, I just can't. It just seems too much. Oh, yeah. I totally agree, Dave. The limits of glory system, though, that's the new company out of England, and they've got 3 games out now. Uh, Really cool system, and it's got some new mechanics in it that you won't have seen anywhere else. It's really cool. The idea of Crisis 1914 as a racing game sort of makes sense, except it's like you're trying to race and then like not cross the line. In a way, it's yeah, but yeah, it is. You are trying to get ahead, definitely. Well, Joe, I'll say, good luck to you. Uh, I'm gonna, I'm gonna leave that one on the shelf. I can't buy everything, and so I have to take my wins and where I say I'm gonna hold the line on this. And I'm not gonna let anybody talk me into it. So there you go. Also on this list, I was glad to see Oblique was there, but of course one of those votes is mine, so doesn't it doesn't tell you a lot. Um, the Cross Province Expressway made it on the list. That was really nice. Um, the remake of Epic Battle of Alicia. I still have the old one. I don't know that I need a new one, but the new one really looks good. I'm interested to see if the new one has, if they've changed the rules in any substantial way that makes me need to actually have it. But uh, yeah, this is exactly what I heard. The new edition of the rule book is about as good as it's going to get um, for helping to onboard players. Apparently there's like just a ton of manuals to get you going and stuff. So good for them. I just yeah, yeah. Well, okay. I said I'm not going to buy Fields of Fire, and that, of course, makes makes everybody want to talk about Fields of Fire. Uh, so, fair enough. Um, John's. That's good to know. So the new one's gory. Yeah, I saw the map and the counters online and went, yeah, that looks. I mean, the old one is like a 1970s Avalon Hill, so the old flat box style. So it did look really good, but I thought, am I going to play that often enough to uh, make it feel like I need another copy? In terms of what I thought was my favorite games, I just put them down here. I loved Oblique. I loved China's War. Talked about both of those already. If you haven't played Oblique, you should check it out. It's very different. It's like uh, the the older Emma Holland gets, the tougher her games get, and I don't mean tough in terms of the learn. Her games are she prides herself on making really accessible games. But what I mean is, you're playing somebody else. If you make a mistake, it's hard to recover. The Oblique is unforgiving, and that's in a two-player game. Now, you might be playing somebody who doesn't understand how what a terrible mistake you made, and then you might get away with it. But Oblique's that kind of game where it's like, you want to play again? Anyway, I love those two. This one I put it on my list because I've played through it once solo, and I liked it. I liked a lot of what was going on. I had a couple of questions about it, uh, but I'm a big fan of desert games, you all know. So I gave it a go. I put it on this list just because I think I probably want to play it again. So anyway, that's that's kind of that's a good look at what people talked about in terms of uh, what they thought was the best of last year. Oh, another one I didn't note on that list was World at War '85: Blood and Fury from Lock and Load. I don't have that, but I remember it was like that one seemed to take a long time to come, and like people were really cranky until it finally came. I know Lock and Load had some real problems getting that fulfilled, but people really seemed to like it once they finally got their hands on it. So there you go. Okay, well, let's talk about what you're excited for next year. That's the next one here. Most excited to play. This is a mix of games that are out and that are coming out. Less votes here, but I was interested to see that the one that's at the top of the list there, Sam London's Firefight Tactical, is a game that's not even out yet. I played a demo of this totally had a great time. It was kind of fun. I played Sam at a convention, and it was just the two of us, and he'd been playing scenario one over and over and over again with people, and I sat down and he said, "Do you know anything about tactical games?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I do, so, sort of." And so we played like scenario 5 or 7 or something way more that just had way more juice to it. And I had a great time, and he had a great time not having to play his introductory scenario for the 12th day, the 12th time that day. It's a cool game. It's a dice placement game, which is going to make you think. I don't know. This is an ASL. Yeah, no, it's not ASL, but it's a really cool game. So anyway, uh, cool that it's at the top of that list. Aaron Armour, a lot of people totally into that game. I'm not much of a modern player, so it's not on my list, but you know, cool game. And then the recently released Italy 43. Yeah, I totally want to play that. I'm in for that, and I'm in for there's going to be another Italy game comes out, and I've heard contrasting things about whether it's going to do the. I know it's not going to go all the stuff that happened up the Adriatic coast, but I think it's going to include the stuff where the Brits and the Canadians uh, head up, and the Canadians end up in Ortona. Hopefully. Oh, great. Oh, that's. I won't be able to see that live, but I'll definitely look that up, Jerry. That's great. Yeah, I love Italy. Um, uh, Christina, are you talking about Aaron Armour? Is that the humongous game? Because I'm sort of thinking it is, but it yeah, it's modern, so I don't know. I haven't looked into it. Um, yeah, Imperial Elegy. Hey, William Campbell, nice to see you. Yeah, Imperial Elegy looks really cool. Somebody won that. Somebody, either here or on the podcast, somebody won a copy of that. For anybody who hasn't seen it, it's a 1 to 6 player game that it starts in 1850 and ends in 1920 or 1930. And I think each turn has several, not just one turn of one move. Each turn is divided up into chunks, but each turn is a decade. So the Great War may happen, or it may not. It may happen earlier. It may not happen at all. Who knows? So it looks like a really really cool game. Yeah, there you go. And we'll take it as another vote for Imperial Elegy. As somebody pointed out when I first put the poll up, autocorrect. I must have made a typo, and autocorrect turned Imperial Elegy into Imperial Eulogy, which kind of works as well. made me made me laugh anyway. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool about it's is the scope of it, right? We don't get a lot of games that just kind of put a world war as a something that just happens to happen in the middle of the time span. Well, yeah, I tend to I don't buy a lot of multiplayer games either, because I'm more likely to get to just play 2 player games. But I do buy a few multiplayer games because they're great to take to conventions. I like to play a lot of 2 player conventions, but at least one or two big multiplayer games for sure. Yeah, I totally agree, David. Luke is knocking it out of the park. Ah, um, uh, John, if you want to get some pointers on Here I Stand, you should look up Christina's write up on her last game of Here I Stand that's on VGG. It sounded like an amazing game. So, which of course, it sounds amazing because when she wrote it, I think she won, and it's always that makes for a great write up, right? You're in a really good mood. Yeah, I'm Yeah, that's totally true, David. Imperial Elegy is listed as 1 to 6, and I think the thinking there is that they have a bot for every single all 6 of the um, powers. So you could play one against 5 bots, or you could play, 5 people in one bot. Like you can do it however you want. I think I'm talking out of my hat when I say that. I think that's the way it goes. On this list, one I don't know Force to Heaven. If anybody knows Force to Heaven, uh, let me know, and chime in here and tell me what it's about, because that popped up on the list, and I didn't I didn't I didn't look it up before I started the thing tonight. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, right. Of course, I should have recognized your full name there. Yes. Well, I know I know they sent it out, so it'll come. Those are the VUCA guys are good. Yeah, I think you've got that's exactly the right question. Is how will it be a lesser player? If it plays great at 4, then it could, it could still be a fantastic game. There are some multiplayer games that can take 5 but actually play great, um, uh, with 3 or 4 players instead. Thanks, Jonathan. So Invasion Poland 39, totally undergained chunk of World War II. So that's fantastic. Good. I'm glad to see it's on somebody's most excited to play. Uh, most of the stuff on there, um, but it's no surprise to see stuff like Old School Tactical 5, uh, uh, China's War, Chickamauga. Like, there's a lot of stuff there that doesn't surprise me. Uh, North Africa 40, that's going to be cool. That's a Simonich. He had the North Africa 41, came out a couple of years ago, and this is like he's tacking on a little bit on the front end of it, I think, so that I think that's what's going to happen. I think there's going to be like you're going to get more of the Italians, basically. I think is what that's going to mean. Um, yeah, I think trench raid. I don't know anything about trench raid. Uh, the rest of those games, I know, or I've been playing Stalingrad Roads. That's a really good game. I was in the middle of doing some content for it when the flood came. Now it's all boxed up, so I feel bad, but that'll come out at some point. But yeah, don't know trench raid, but I do know the rest. Pontiac's War, that could be cool as well. Um, you don't see a lot of games on First Nations characters, which is, I think that's what that game is. Anyway, for my most excited, there we go. So yeah, so okay, so this trench raid is what I'm thinking, because I've been thinking of it as kind of an RPG game, right? I think there's a ton of players, maybe even playing it with maybe with minis or something. There's a bunch of people at my local game store, I think, that are totally into trench raid. I think that's what's happening. I don't know. I I thought Brett Waldo was already out, but I hadn't ordered it, so I just heard that. I didn't. I don't know anything about that. Um, and Nest of Eagles from Phalanx. I'm I'm hit and miss with Phalanx games, so I don't pull the trigger on them as often as I might. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'll come around on them. It's they're the games that I played of theirs have been good. There's just the interactions I've had with the guy that runs the place have rubbed me the wrong way. So that can keep my wallet in my pocket. Anyway, yeah. So here, what I can't remember what I put on most excited to play, but I put it down here. Oh yes. So Battlefields of the Napoleonic Wars. This is already sold out. This is Paolo Mori. Um, this is it's almost like a self-published game. So the great thing about that is he's doing a second edition, and he thinks he'll have it out by March, because like because it's just I talked to him about it. I said, hey, I missed your game. Is there any chance you just like have a copy of beat up anything? I'll buy anything. And he said, no, I don't, but I'll send you one when it's going to be out again. The second printing should be out by March. And it's like, oh, right. Like you're not MMP where we have to wait 5 years, or GMT where we have to wait 2 years. Like you can turn around and do a second printing in 3 months. That's fantastic. Because I've heard great things about this game. It's got blocks. I'm not going to be able to describe it, but it just it, I started reading about it and looking at some after action reports, and I could not, I couldn't order it fast enough once I started to see it. Ah, well, William, it's good to see. William and I are both Canadians, and so is Gilbert Collins. So have a little provincialism here, and support Gilbert Collins' Kaiser's High Sea Fleet. I think that's cool. I want to see what Gilbert does next too. He had a rough go with his American Revolution game a while ago, and I want to see him back and having a good time. I did not order Hubris, but I'll look at I'll definitely look at your unboxing and see if I made a mistake. It just um, I I I don't know. Maybe it was the three players. I like a three-player game. I don't know what it was. I I for some reason I didn't order it. Maybe it was just the sad fact, I can't order every damn thing that GMT puts out. Yeah, I think Battlefields of the Napoleonic Wars looks very interesting too, as does this next one, Battle Commander from Carl Parody. It's coming out through Sound and Drums. This this is Carl's new system, and I think it's completely diceless, and so that makes me think it must have cards. Most if it's got some randomization at all in it. Um, I think it's like I think it's got the little sticks, sort of like um, like Napoleon's Triumph or something like that, that sort of thing. Anyway, you know, Carl's a another Canadian. Carl's an interesting guy. I mean, he can be a little spicy, but he did a great thing with his No Retreat series, and he's definitely talking about this as another series. I'm sure he's already got the next couple of games flat out. Um, so I'm interested to see it, and I'll definitely track him down for an interview, whether it's live here or recorded for the podcast. One way or the other, I'll talk to Carl again. I talked to him a few years ago, but and it's funny because we were talking about his game Absolute War, but near the end of the conversation, he started. I don't think he even had a name for Battle Commander yet, but he started talking about this Napoleonic game that was like nothing anybody had ever seen before, and so there we go. Now it's like 4 years later, and we're finally going to see it. So yeah, battle. So a couple of Napoleonic ones, which is kind of weird. I'm not a big Napoleonic guy generally, but I'm getting more and more into it. So there you go. And then well, I'll put both of these up. I've already talked about Desert Blitzkrieg. I already have it. I want to get an opposed play and see how I really feel with it. But the other one, On Hell's Highway, that's John Butterfield, and of course he had Hell's Highway it came out from Victory Games. Really well regarded game, well loved game, and he's redoing it with New England simulations. So it's going to be way much nicer components. It was a weird one. The Victory Games one had these really strange counters where they left huge gutters along the edges, like the text was really squished into the middle, really hard to see. Um, for whatever reason, who knows? Anyway, that's what it was. But this, yeah, yeah, I know. What? Yeah, yeah. Take my money on Hell's Highway. Uh, I a few years ago, I know I talk about all these people that I interviewed, but that's just part of what I do with this thing. And I did get the chance to talk to John. We talked about his whole career, and I when I talked to him about Hell's Highway, we had a great chat about that. And he said that he had just started working on Hell's Highway. I don't know if he told me that it was with that he had placed it with New England Simulations at that point, but he did say that he's learned so much in the 35, 40 years since that there's parts of how combat's done or parts of how movement he's went, I've just found more efficient ways to do some of these things, and I'm going to do it. So on Hell's Highway is not a strict reprint with prettier components. John's definitely changed changed things up. Yeah, David. I saw pictures of on Hell's Highway on from somebody posted a bunch of pictures from Weekend at the Warehouse, and it did look fantastic. Market garden maps always look good, right? That was it's the way desert maps always look like this. Market garden maps always look like this. It's great. Yeah, I can't wait for it. Yeah, William, I have the War for America too, and I totally agree. The map is beautiful. Is it a Terry Leeds map? Maybe I can't remember. Um, I remember there was errata, and Gilbert he got his back up about it a little bit, and he stopped answering uh, people's questions about it, and it got a bit messy. And I just haven't played it because I thought I'm just waiting for all this errata to shake out, and maybe there'll be like a living rules, and and then I'll play it. But there was all that kind of like back and forth where it just felt like Gilbert shut the door on people who were asking about his game, and I never came back to it. And I was really interested because I think I think Gilbert's take on it was it's going to be the war for America is the war for America. It's going to be the same thing. But if I remember right, Gilbert was like trying to look at it more from the British point of view than the American point of view. Every AMRAP game is always from the American point of view. It's going to be the same thing, but I was interested to see in what ways it wasn't the same thing. So yeah, well, given say this playthrough looks good, I'll check it out, and I'll play it again, or I'll play it for the first time finally. Yeah, I know. I'm with you. There's certain things like North Africa and Market Garden. I'm almost an I'm almost an auto buy on that stuff. Okay, um, that's it for most excited. Here's the next one is what what got on the let's get to the top here. What got played the most? And this was an interesting one because as you can see there, um, like it's almost all everybody's playing something different. Three people were playing Combat Commander and three people were playing Advanced Squad Leader, which makes sense. Like totally huge, giant selling games. And then like a few twos, and then everything else is just like a ton of ones. Like everybody's playing something different. There's no agreement on what people are devoting all their time to, which is great, right? Like if we were all playing the same thing, that would be a bit dull, and it would also really suck for the people who want to play something different. I love seeing how much stuff is on this list. If you go down this list, though, there's a couple that'll jump out at you. One is if you see there about halfway down in ones is O Canada, which is Brian Train's game about Canadian provincial politics, and he made 50 copies of it, sold them all sold them all himself. You can buy it. There's a version of it you can buy on War Game Vault, but I just can't. I wonder who the hell played O Canada the most all year. Um, Somebody who got an early copy and was and just played nothing but it. That's a surprising one. Or maybe it was their favorite game and they just put it on the wrong list. Anyway, I was I was very glad for Brian. He made he, he made 50 copies and you didn't know if they'd sell because it's such a Canadian provincial politics is pretty niche, um, a pretty niche game. And but he sold all 50, I think. So there you go. Yeah, totally a dabbler. I There was about a decade where I played nothing but ASL, and then I put that to bed, and then just went back to playing everything again. And now I've let a little ASL back into my life, but I don't. It hasn't become a lifestyle game for me the way it was. Well, I think I think a lot of people are either coming back or coming to Paths of Glory again, either coming to for the first time or coming back to it because of the Rally of the Troops implementation. All of a sudden, uh, people who couldn't get a partner to play it with, I think that game's gonna is getting a total renaissance just because of the online implementation, which people flock to. And same thing with Rebel Fury for sure. Rebel Fury is out on Steam and you can play it on Steam. Yeah, yeah. There's the lag. Cardboard Commanders talking about just what I was saying that the Rally the Troops thing has shot Paths of Glory back into uh, everybody's sights. Um, uh, but there's some, there's some big games there too. Like, I guess one of the things that might be there could be some games on this list that they say they played it the most because they've had it set up all year and they've been playing it all year, like a big OCS game, OCS Tunisia, or I don't know, even a BCS last Blitzkrieg. That's I think that's fairly big as well. So um, for maybe. Yeah, John, I've played the AI opponent as well on that, but I want to get some live play on it because it plays synchronous as well. Well, Thomas, now's your chance. You get it out, read the rule book, and then find somebody to play. Even you can play live or take your time and play asynchronously on Rally the Troops, and that's a great way to learn because every time it's your turn, there's nobody staring at you waiting for you. You've got time to look at the rule book and figure out what you're going to do. Uh, yeah, I, I've never played a full game of Paths of Glory, so now's my totally my chance. Look down the list though; it's interesting to see Pursuit of Glory is also on the list, and I got a couple of friends who they say, yeah, Paths of Glory was a breakthrough, but Pursuit of Glory is by far the better game. So it definitely has its fans. Nice to see Grand Havoc on the list as well. Actually, there's a lot of good games on that list. Bayonets and Tomahawks, man, I love that game. Uh, you see somebody who's got World War II Commander Mark Garden on there already too. There's a few surprising ones given this is supposed to be what you played the most. Seeing Labyrinth War on Terror isn't surprising. Seeing Red Strike, now that's one. There's a lot of scenarios in that game. I could see somebody just devoting a whole year to playing Red Strike. Absolutely. Um, what did I play the most? Oh yeah, of course I played ASL because I've always got at least two ASL games going PDM, so that's why it's at the top. This one I've only played it once, and we're still playing the game, but I've been playing it all year, and it's fantastic. Um, yeah, I totally recommend this game. We've been going back and forth. Uh, I I thought I was sunk as as the Entente, and then I delivered what I thought was a knockout blow. He felt like he was really sunk, but then the Russians are on the verge of collapse, and he's going to come back at me. Yeah, it's a great game. I played a ton of this year, and then when we had the flood, um, I had to put the game on hold. We were playing PBEM, um, and it was just like all my stuff is so scattered, and it takes a. It's a great game. I really like it, and I can't wait to play it again. And if my opponent will pick up where we left off, I'll be happy. But I won't blame him if he just wanted to move on. I just couldn't when we were in the midst of moving and all that kind of stuff. I just didn't have the bandwidth to play a game as hefty as Axis Empires. But wow, what a game! It was fantastic. I don't know. I don't have the same sort of interest in Dai Senso as I do the Axis Empires, but maybe that's just me. Okay, well, we've already been going on an hour and a half, so I better pick it up here a little bit. Let's take a look at this. Should be interesting. This is people. I put up a list of games published in 2000 and 2024, and to say like what was your favorite from there, and then I looked at a couple lists of like uh, right after 2024, uh, and what was people's favorites, and Rebel Fury was the top of a lot of lists. Burning Banners wasn't, but in the in the intervening time, people have discovered Burning Banners, and they're totally loving it. It's totally not my thing. I'm not going to buy that game. I mean, maybe I'd play it uh, uh, at a convention or something. But oh well, uh, I didn't know that. Well, there you go. So it's not very often we hear about people getting hosed on Kickstarter and then there being a happy end to the story. But that's amazing. And yeah, and David says he's a backer of the same thing. So well, I'm happy for backing for both of you. Did not back Heroes of the Pacific, so I didn't I wasn't even aware of the folks getting posted on Kickstarter. Um, for me, well, like, isn't Burning Banners like I don't know? Isn't am I confusing it with something, or is it I don't know, slightly fantasy themed, or um, I don't know. I don't know. So I think somehow it was it looked like a cool game, but the setting just didn't click with me. Oh, that's well, that sucks. I thought maybe that there was that somehow Wordforge was going to recover some of the money, and you guys wouldn't have to pay full price again. That totally sucks. Um, my the Traces of Hubris. I don't think that was on the top of many people's list at the end of 2024 the way it is now. People were really high on Red Dust Rebellion for sure. Um, and for the people who are into it, yeah, things like the Greatest Day, um, Utah Beach, for sure. You might remember Panzer North Africa won the Charles S. Roberts Award for that year, which you know awards are what they are. I'm glad they have them because they move hobby forward, but I never feel like they're actually an accurate uh, idea of what was the best game of the year. I certainly wouldn't have picked. I don't have anything against Panzer North Africa, but I don't think I'd have picked like the fifth game in a series as the game that I thought was the winner of that year, especially when I had two others that I liked better than it, and even if they weren't mine, I would have probably picked Rebel Fury or Stalingrad Roads or something. Anyway, what I did pick, my favorites were this Arabian Struggle, which I was very lucky to get to play with Dumpty 008 about I don't know, a year and a half ago, and just loved that game. In a three-player game, another game where sort of World War One just kind of happens in the background. This is about three Arab powers vying for control of the Arabian Peninsula, and the British and the Ottomans are just kind of in the way. Sooner or later, they get the hell out of there. Yeah, it's just a great game. It's a card driven game, fantastic. And then my other favorite, which I also got to play there, these were my top two games of 2024. I love this game. If this is a VUCA game, so you know the um, components are totally gorgeous. Uh, but it's interesting. It's a block game, but the units aren't blocks. The orders are blocks. You put out your you put out orders for all your different units. So your units are leaders. Each the leaders are on the board, and then on a sideboard you show which units are with which leaders. If you want to do it that way, you give these blocks to each of the leaders, and your opponent does the same. You can't see each other's what the orders that have been assigned to, and it's not like you just then reveal them all. Different order types get revealed in a specific order. Like first, all the march orders go, so anybody who has a march order has to do it. Then there's a different kind of order. Then they do that. So it's not like you go, oh, I see what they're doing. Now I'll react. You don't know what they're doing until the last order block is revealed. It's it, yeah, it's great. It's another one of those games that there's not a lot like it. It's fantastic. Back to Arabian Struggle. Yes, I totally agree with David. It's a fantastic three-player game, and plays. Uh, it doesn't feel like an hour because it feels like it's really like there's a lot going on. It's not. There's nothing. It's not hard to learn, but there's nothing light about it. What did I pick as my other game? Oh yeah, ah, here we go. The Limits of Glory system that David was talking about earlier. This was their very first game. This is Andy Rourke out of London, I think, and he's got a couple more out now. But this is this one is Bonaparte's Egyptian campaign, and like I said, totally interesting, totally interesting mechanics in this that you won't have seen anywhere else. Really interesting event chart come turn track. It's kind of it works as both things in a way. Great game. Uh, I think you can. I don't know. I don't know how you get him in Canada or the States. I don't know how much he's pierced the market or if anybody's carrying them. But if you can track one down, give it a go. Okay, uh, just a little bit of time left. The last thing was people's goals for next year. I I didn't put anything in here because I don't have any pictures of what I would do. But no surprise, I really like the top one. This is always something I feel the urge to, like Dumpty and I both confess to being dabblers and jumping from game to game to game. But I do miss um, uh, having a buddy where we play the same game over like 4 or 5 times and just really get into it. Um, I want to do more of but I think I said the same thing last year. Yeah, that's the thing about Limits of Glory mechanics you won't see anywhere else, and in a really good way. And they got 3 boxes out and another more. Yeah, yeah, totally agree. Play 2 to 3 times. Play more face to face and Vassal. Yeah, all those things resonate with me. Absolutely. I played plenty of Vassal, but I want to. I'm hoping to up my face to face game this year. I didn't get as much. I only went to one convention this year, where I usually go to two. So I didn't get as much convention time, and I just want to hook up with more guys locally here and play some more face to face and get that done. It's interesting. A lot of guys had learn more systems, and that's interesting. I think there's a lot of people who go like, I want to learn some systems because I could learn if I could just learn OCS, then I'd have so many games that I could play. And I do get the attraction of that, but I really like games that are just one-offs. Like I'm happy to learn just the rules to a game. Not that I'm against systems. I'll play um, Blind Swords till Cow comes home. Ah, uh, John, are you talking about Vassal to play PBEM or Vassal to play live? I mean, they're similar experiences and yet completely different. But uh, if you ever wanted to help with it, I'd definitely try and find some time and we could talk over Discord and have the Vassal up live and help you learn. I'll help anybody learn Vassal. Vassal's great. Uh, yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. Here. Yeah. To have construction and then flooding, which entailed more construction. Basically, like the construction started, I think, July 15th, and we're scheduled to be finally done uh, March 15th. So, what is that, 9 months? 9 months about? Yeah. Okay. Well, John, if we can find time to link up, um, uh, I mean, you know your way on software, you'll get going, but I'll pass on things that you might miss or uh, old fogies tips for some like I think I've probably I'm, last time I looked I probably played 300 or 400 games via Vassal PBE and over the last 8-10 years. So I played a lot of Vassal. The weird thing about Vassal is um, even though it's a standard interface, every Vassal developer, if they choose, can choose their own hotkeys and choose their own way to do things. Some developers are really great and they kind of try to do the same thing that everybody else does, but you know, some guys go out and change things just for their particular game. So it does vary a bit from game to game, depending on who the developer of the module is. But what are you going to do? Well, there's some good news. Very cheap sell-off of Heroes of Normandy. I guess that's what that is. I never got into that series, but people totally loved it. Um, Selling off cheap, but shipping is rough. Shipping is rough. Thomas says, "Yeah, there you go." Yeah. So uh, so get on it. For me, if I look at that list, um, it's definitely replay more games, play more face to face, go to at least one convention. I think that would be me. Um, but go to at least one convention, that's pretty easily achievable. I think my list would be slightly different because my list is going to my list is going to be hijacked by stuff that I do for the podcast and for the live stream and the website. Uh, and so I think one of my goals is to find a way to streamline all three of those a little bit so that um, uh, an interview that I do live on the live stream here, maybe I repurpose it as content for the podcast at some point, uh, so that everybody can hear it. I know some people listen to the podcast and watch the live show, but the feedback I've got is that it seems like for the majority of people, they either like YouTube or they like podcasts. They're not there's not as much crossover as you might think. So uh, I don't think I have to worry too much about repurposing content. If I suppose if I did it all the time, it might turn a few people off. But it's worth exploring because it would allow me to do more things if I could repurpose some things. That would give me more time to maybe film some more playthroughs or do more interviews or what have you. In terms of interviews, I told you about the one coming up with J.D. Webster and Terry Simon. Um, I, I think um, I'm hoping that it'll work out. I want to get a hold of. I've been talking. I've been writing back and forth with Uwe Valentin from Sound and Drums. I'd love to talk to him. Uh, it's always great to talk to newer players on the scene. Newer. It was really great to talk to Jose Neva and talk to somebody who's you know, freshly started a new company. Same thing when I talked to Andrew Rourke from the Limit of Glory scene. It's just it, I mean, it feels good to help out these starter companies, but also it's just like, okay, what's it like to start up a company? That's an interesting question. Right? It's like, what what made you think you could do it? And generally the answer is there. Well, if I knew it was going to be this hard, I wouldn't have done it. But ignorance was bliss. But it's they all do it their own way too. So that's kind of interesting. So yeah, I want to try and talk to a few more European publishers as well that don't get the same kind of broadcast or not just publishers but designers and whatnot. So you'll probably see more of that. Anyway, that, that's funny. That took us a long time to get through all that. It's been almost 2 hours, and I got to tell you, I was I was thinking that I thought I don't know about this topic. I don't know if I have enough to talk about here. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I didn't know I was going to be able to talk for 70 minutes, let alone 120. But thanks to all of you who showed up and who participated and kept the conversation going. That's the thing that makes these things work. Anyway, this is the last thing. I'm pretty sure this is the last time I'll see you. Well, it's the last time before Christmas. I don't know if I'll have another show before New Year's. No, I don't think so. Yeah, because yeah, it'll be just after New Year's. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. I hope everybody gets a new game for Christmas or whatever they're celebrating. And I'll say good night and see you all in the new year. Have a good one.